And off it goes, look for the money shot. Impounded. What'll actually happen to that bike now? What'll actually happen to the bike now?
Get crushed or...
Oh, they destroy him, do they? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. He's lost a few quid's worth there, though. And here's me paying tax, MOT and everything. Certain things. Walk past it here. That's your police car.
Make sure you watch
Street switch. Say Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch. Irish.
Electric something. I don't fucking know. Electric bike, electric vehicle of some description. In a way, I sort of hope he doesn't lose it, but it does look... I'm going to take that bike up to the local bike shop that's up here, just to store it for now, unless they're actually taking it to the police station. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, some guys lost a few quid's worth of bike there. Now, it's...
Someone says it had 5 gears and a bloody clutch.
So good morning, Street Switch Photography, back out in town after yesterday's fiasco. In other news, Sports Direct basically enabling people to come across in boats and stuff like that, along with Vodafone giving nearly 1,500 SIM cards preloaded with 6 months data to illegal immigrants. There's some more news for you that I bet you didn't know about. Now, I'm just taking a walk through town today, going to be pottering around, doing my own thing, whether I'll come across a couple of people that basically disagree with my opinions on certain things will be a different story, won't it? But how can you turn around and say that we don't like people that discriminate against people, yet they're discriminating against somebody that has a different opinion to them? Well, I'm not quite sure how that all works, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Hey up, mate, you alright? So, as you can see and as you know, I'm not a nasty person. I don't call people names, I don't call people nasty things and things like that, for the simple reason I don't see the point in it, because it's just a word. That is literally what it is. Now, last night's video I did because I think people ought to know certain things, and I think that it's a important thing for people to know. And I do these videos and somebody turned around and said, again, no names, no businesses mentioned and things like that. I mention these things because I think it's important that people know. Hello, 1 second, just got to go. Sorry, I've just seen an old friend that I haven't seen for years, Tina Marie. Very good friend of the family, very good friend to our family. Excellent woman, now lives in Devon, bless her. What a place to retire and get on with your life and everything. What a brilliant place. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I don't usually mention business names and things like that because I don't see the need for it, and I don't mention people's names either because I'm not somebody that just attacks a single person. But when you've been discriminated against and things like that by people that say they don't discriminate, only against people they disagree with, well, there's a small problem with that, isn't there? And I've just got to pop in and see Tarek in a couple of seconds because I owe him the phone. Sorry, I had to pop in and see the guy at the mobile phone shop who sells these mobile phones. He's done absolutely fantastic. He runs a business in Melton. His name's Tarek. Pop down, come and see his mobile phone shop. It's called Mobile World. Brilliant bloke and a very good friend. We've just been chatting about discrimination and stuff like that. Now, he leans more to the left than what I do. I lean more to the right, but we're best friends. He helps me out. I help him out with phones and stuff, you know, even though we have opposing views. But what he doesn't do is discriminate against me because I have a different opinion to other people, which I find, well, abhorrent, I think is a word I'd use for that. Anyway, I've got to pop down here and I've got to go and give all my money to the wife. Again, like I say, you draw the money out, people look at you and you think, well, yeah, all right, I've got a bit of money in my pocket, but not for bloody long. See you in a minute. Now, with some of the things the lady was saying, I totally agreed with. People do need a safe space for when they feel depressed or when they feel threatened by some way, shape or form. And what that actually means is you can go into a shop and you can actually be in a safe space where people can't record people. You've got a form of privacy. It's called a safe space for a reason. Now, again, Pepper's Safe Space is a place just up the road from... Hey, up again, you're right. is a safe place for people to go in with mental illness and stuff like that, and I totally agree with that business. It's been open a while now, so big up to Pepper's Safe Space. It used to be up on King Street, but it moved to the centre of town, and any questions I've ever asked them, they've just answered it straight. They've never mucked and messed about and beaten about the bush, never discriminated against anything I've ever said. In fact, they've made me welcome on a number of occasions when I've popped in just to say hello, obviously without recording because it's a safe space, and they have no issue with that. We've got another sensory place just in there, in Bowley Court, and we've got a few of them around Melton, and there are some good ones, and they will answer questions that you have without being on the defensive. Now, there's somebody chatting you up there, mate. So yeah, it's like one of those things, isn't it? You sort of think to yourself, well, why discriminate against people and make a prat of yourself? Now, this cat here has been the subject of attention. Hello. Hello, puddy cat. You're beautiful, aren't you? Everybody thought it belonged to the generous Britain, but apparently not. Let me just... Sorry, I'm an animal lover. There you go. There's the cat that everybody thought belonged to the Jenny Bee, but it doesn't. It belongs to somebody behind. It's well looked after. It knows what it's doing. At the end of the day, I've got to meet my wife in a few minutes. Oh. I don't know if many people remember this place, what used to be something called Charlie's Bar. Now, this was a safe space for people to come of the LGBTQ4K community a couple of years ago now, and it was shut down and everything else. Now, I never had an issue with this place whatsoever. In fact, it was a hub for all, really, but it was more for the LGBTQ4K movement and everything else. And like I said, I had no problem with it for the simple reason they weren't gender affirming here. They were just basically enjoying themselves, having a drink, listening to music, and basically a nice little community hub for them to be involved with. But again, we have these hubs for certain reasons, and some people just take things the wrong way, don't they? So I just decided to come and grab myself a quick cup of coffee and have a sit down and a bit of a chill while I wait for my wife to finish getting a haircut. This camera makes me look so ginger. I'm not this real ginger in real life, believe me. I'm more bloody grey than ginger now. But yeah, I was a ginger. I burn in the sun. But decided to grab a Greg's coffee. Oh, no sugar. Straight up latte. Oh no, this is what is this? Americano or latte or what? Americana. Nice and strong. So you may be wondering, what is my opinion on gender affirming and things like that? Well, I don't believe you should be forced into affirming anybody to say, to basically agree with their lie. Because it basically is a lie in biological truth, isn't it? And then they come up with something called, well, what about these intersex people? What they're talking about there is something called 5ARD, which is a condition that you are born with, but you are still a male or a female. You can be born with internal testes, and when you turn a teenager and the hormones kick in, they appear, and things like that. You are always a male or a female. There is no third, fourth, fifth, or 200 and something odd genders that they seem to think there are now. And like I said before, I refuse to affirm anybody's gender. If you want to be called Julie and you're a man, I'll call you fucking Julie. I've got no problem with that, because that's a name. But I'm not going to turn around and say you are a woman when you're clearly not, and when you're using female safe spaces to talk about safe spaces, when you're using female safe spaces and things like that to actually gain access to that type of thing. I mean, it's called autogynephile, I believe. Look it up, you'll find out I'm right. So I'm literally just about to go for a walk around Melton Park to see whether they've still got the village down there and everything else, to see what's been going on. I haven't been down for a while. Anyway, I was just thinking to myself, if you're going to create a safe space for people that they say are discriminated against, which is, not to the level that they like to make out, which is proven, and then basically discriminate against somebody that's asking a simple question whilst trying to provide a space for people that are apparently discriminated against, It does not look good, does it? And again, I will point out that I have not mentioned anybody's name or anything like that in this video, because I don't agree with that. I've just literally heard a woman that seems to be visiting Melton from the train station, just keep your expectations low, saying that to her kids. Not good. That's not a good look, is it? Yeah, back on the subject, again, like I say, if you're going to provide a safe space for people that are apparently discriminated against, and then basically discriminate against somebody with a different opinion to yourself, that is not very good at all. The optics of that are really, really fucking bad. I was called a bigot. I was basically told I was the problem, that these people need a safe space. Yet I did not call anybody any names. I did not call anybody any slurs. I basically asked 2 questions. What is the alternative learning, and are you gender affirming children? They were the 2 questions I asked. And they got extremely defensive about it, which was the wrong thing to do. What they could have said is, why don't you come down and have a look and form an opinion on what we're actually doing? And I'd have done that. Now, the way they handled it at Redwood Park when they held an LGBTQ4K event up there, I asked questions and their response was spot on. In fact, it was overly spot on, if you want to put it like that. They said, come along, see what you think, have a look round, do some recording, take some photos. Anybody that doesn't want to be on camera will tell me. And we went from there, and I was made to feel very, very welcome. So big up to the guys at the CAF at Redwood Park. They went the right way about it. I enjoyed the event. In fact, I rang a family member and told them to go down to the event because it was good. Again, I don't discriminate. I ask questions. So I was quite shocked to find, which I double checked last night by the way, there are 3 places in Melton that are gender affirming children. Now if you're wondering again what gender affirming is, it's basically telling a boy that if he thinks he's a girl trapped inside a boy's body, then that's absolutely fine. Here's some hormone blockers for you, and then that leads on to surgery in the future. And vice versa for girls, if you're a boy trapped inside a girl's body, vice versa. And what this does basically is give certain clinics a lifelong medical patient and everything else. We shouldn't be telling children this. If I had a son and he came along to me and said, Dad, I feel like I'm Spider-Man trapped inside this little boy's body. I want to go and climb on the roof and jump off of it. I would not affirm that. So why would you affirm him thinking he's a girl? Now, if he wants to dress in girls' clothes and plays with dolls and stuff like that, then that's absolutely fucking fine. I'm not going to turn around and say you are a little girl. I'm going to say you're a boy dressing in girls' clothes. Maybe they may be a bit effeminate. They may grow up to be gay. Who knows? But you don't affirm it because it causes mental health issues in the future. Now, you look at some of these kids. You look at some of these kids with these issues. You look at their arms, and some of them, not all of them, but a good number of them, are habitual self-harming. They have problems with eating disorders. It's pretty messed up. And usually that's something to do with the way they're developing. They may be a late developer, they may have hormonal problems and things like that, of which can be diagnosed by a doctor that is qualified and not a woke one, somebody that knows what they're fucking talking about. Now, I'm not going to go and take my child to a place where they turn around and say, yeah, you are a little boy trapped inside a girl's body. You need to get down the doctors and get it affirmed. And then start taking hormone blockers. Why would you want to keep a kid? What the fuck's a kid? A kid like a child. And then you get these men that want to do something called chest feeding. What is chest feeding? It's a man trying to breastfeed a baby. It's fucking disgusting. This is the deep, dark path that this actually leads down in some cases, not all cases. And as you know, recognise there, I did say not all cases. And it's not just that. You go to some of these pride events and the LGBT section of that event, you will have men walking around with tight leather pants on with their genitals hanging out in front of children, men with breast implants showing them off in public because there's something called autogynephiles. They get sexually aroused imagining themselves as a woman. It gets even darker on the queer part of things. It gets into kink. So the kink in it, the gay way, if you want to put it like that. And that's where it leads to. And that's the type of thing that I will not accept. Harm to children. I will not cause harm to children. I will not cause mental illness in children. And that's why I do these videos. So before anybody says, oh, be careful, he'll do a video on it, damn fucking right I will if I think I'm doing the best thing. And I think that people should know that this is what could happen. Oh, look where I am. Looks like the town estate had been down and cleared it out a bit more. It's looking a lot better. Now, we have had some rain. And it's been really, really nice and cool. I actually came down and I put a jacket on this morning to ride down with. Got a beautiful swan. Now, I do believe there will be some pushback. I believe there will be people that will disagree with this video. They'll probably call me even more names. I will not be calling them names back. I'll simply be describing them for what exactly they are. And that are fakes. That are bought into an ideology that they know nothing about because they don't do their research on it first. They just think that their son or their daughter is a girl trapped inside a boy's body or vice versa, and they need to get to the doctors or a psychologist for them to be told that, or take them to a place like I'm describing in this video. The harms that this ideology does is massive, and it's already beginning to actually backfire in a way that people did not expect. The gay community are now actually turning around and saying, you know what, this trans community, this gender affirming community, this fucked up community, quite frankly, we want nothing to do with. We will not play a part in this, which is absolutely brilliant. But they get called again, it's always slurs. It's always slurs they get called. And the first ones to actually attack are the left. Now, why is that? Because they can't control their emotions, that's why. They're incapable of controlling their emotions. And if anybody says the violence isn't coming from the left, 3 assassination attempts on Donald Trump. Anne Whitcomb beaten to death with a hammer, hit with a hammer 22 times by one of the far left. A stabbing in Covent Garden by a transsexual, going round stabbing everybody. Charlie Kirk shot in the neck by a man that was dating a transsexual, a bloke dressed as a woman. So you can't say that the violence is coming from the right when it clearly is not. It isn't coming from the right at all. It's all coming from the left. And it seems to be a reoccurring thing. There's a pattern. Yeah, people beeping their horns and stuff. But yeah, it's a pattern. Now, I used to go down to a place in Melton called Black Dragon Games. It's a big up Black Dragon Games, by the way. I absolutely love them guys. They're brilliant. They do tabletop gaming. They do Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all sorts and stuff like that. I'd urge you to go down and take a look if you're into that sort of thing. They do nights where you can go and play Magic the Gathering and stuff like that as well. And they also do, what was it called? They do all the new TCG games and all that sort of stuff. Now, you do get charged a small amount for renting a table out there, but again, it's worth it because it is a safe environment and nobody discriminates against you for your views. Now, again, as I said before, these people that have been having a go at me online for basically asking 2 questions have absolutely no clue who I am and what I actually know. They do not realise I have a family member that is gay. I have a family member that was actually married to a transgender, and they have a child together, and I get on with all 3 of those people. I do not discriminate. In fact, I was with them on Saturday when my daughter was singing. Go and see my daughter's singing page, Imogen's singing page over on Facebook. Now, to basically say that I'm the problem and that I'm a bigot, do I find it offensive? No, I don't find it offensive at all. In fact, if anything, I find it... They've basically dug themselves a hole that they're not going to be able to get themselves out of, if you think about it. Because if you're in a position where you can answer a question or react in a way that can prove what you're doing is lawful and everything else, and not got some sort of hidden agenda behind it, As I said before, they could have turned around and said, come down and see what it's about, we'll have a chat to you. Not on camera, but we'll talk to you. And I'd have done a video in complete fairness and basically bigged the place up. But they decided to take a different route, and that's normally the route that the left take. They play the victim, and then you get the blame for it. So just as it starts to rain and everything else, someone's been stopped on a bike. Just down the bottom there, I don't know who they are. It's like an electric bike of some description. They are actually cracking down on electric bikes in town and everything. Basically, here's me with a scooter paying for tax, insurance, MOT and everything else. And you get people flying around on a fucking electric bike for absolutely nothing. Is this guy coming down here? There's your police. See if I can get across the road to Bazza. If you need anything, come down to Milton Computers. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Not bad at all, just recording that over.
Interesting though.
Yeah. It looks to be some sort of Uber rider or something that's got this electric bike of some. See you later, Baz. But I'm going to go down and record the police car. I'm not there yet. I don't think Love Records is actually open today, but yeah, they're going round and cracking down on all of these scooters and things like that are around. It's absolutely pissing it down, so I might have to move over to my phone. So here we go, as it absolutely pisses it down. This guy's having a go at the cop in the absolute pissing rain. I'm not getting wet. Lit thunder. Woo! Christ almighty. So what's going to actually happen is he'll probably get the bike taken off him and then get told to go on his way. You shouldn't be riding the bike illegally through town. Didn't expect this to absolutely hammer it down though. Apparently it's going to be like this all day, risk of thunderstorms and stuff. Who knows? And there you go. So Greg's a bit in because it's too heavy for the rain. I'll just record it going in. These guys down here getting absolutely drenched. So it looks like the rain is now stopping and we're back to blue skies again. Wants to make its mark. That poor guy down there getting absolutely wet through because he's on the wrong sort of scooter. There you go. So I'm just testing a new microphone function I found on my on the thing. This is a sound test 1, 2, 3. Again, sound test 1, 2, 3. Back to green, sound test 1, 2, 3. I don't know what it does exactly, but it seems like this guy's still losing his bike. Still pissing it down. I'm going to try and stay in the doorway if I can, but I've got all different functions on this thing. I don't know quite how it works, but anyway. So hopefully that's the end of the rain, fingers crossed. I'm just going to stand over here in this doorway and try and sort of, what's this here? The piece of Warner People, the Black Swan. There you go, there's the what do you call it? What do they actually call it? Electric something, I don't fucking know. Electric bike, electric vehicle of some description. in a way, I sort of hope he doesn't lose it, but it does look like quite an expensive one, and he shouldn't be riding it without a helmet or anything else, personally, but that's just one of those things that happen, isn't it? So I'm not going to get the guy on bloody camera because it's not fair. Again, he was just riding around on his bike, he's been stopped, but the police are cracking down on illegal scooters and stuff like that. So I will record the police car, I don't mind recording certain things. Walk past it here. That's your police car. Bit too much excitement for a fucking Thursday, this is, isn't it? Booyah. Police car picking up illegal scooters, illegal bikes, electric bikes and things like that. The crackdown continues in Melton Mowbray. So I'm just stood here with an anonymous person who will remain anonymous. And a friend, I like to think so anyway. And the guy looks like he's going to get his bike taken away. The other guy's actually buggered off, so I'm going to go and get a picture of the bike and record the police actually taking the bike into custody. It's quite a nice bike. Have we got an undercover?
No, mate, sorry, not for sale.
How fast is it?
It said about 25.
That's quicker than 25. Come on. That's at least 50 mile an hour, that is. A good couple of grand's worth of bike. My Hello Kitty bike will be quicker than that. What? Yeah, I do YouTube, yeah.
Can I get any video?
If you want, mate. No problem. Just say, make sure you watch Street Switch Photography.
Make sure you watch Street
Street Switch. Say Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch.
Swiss wristwatch. There's another one for you. So it looks like they're actually taking, shout out to the lads that just said watch Street Switch Photography. I think they're going to take that bike up to the local bike shop that's up here just to store it for now, unless they're actually taking it to the police station. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, some guys lost a few quid's worth of bike there. Now it's an electric bike, obviously it can do anything from 25 mile an hour up to 60 miles an hour, some of these bikes that you find. And they race around the streets on them with no helmet, no MOT, no tax, no nothing. So they get them taken off them. Here's me paying all that for my scooter. I'm going to follow them down to the police station because I think they'll impound it. But yeah, it looks like we've got an undercover cop as well that's actually been cracking down on this in town. It absolutely bucketed it down earlier. Pissed it down, as you see in the video. But yeah, the cop's taking it to the... why won't that zoom anymore? Oh, because I'm already zoomed in. He's taking it to the police station by the looks of things. So we'll follow them to the police station and then I'll stop recording. But somebody's lost a few quid's worth of bike there. Couple of grand, would you say? Now, whether it was an Uber Eats rider or something along those lines, I do not know. That's the fastest I've seen it go. Average human walking speed, 4 miles an hour. And off it goes. Look for the money shot. Impounded. What'll actually happen to that bike now? What'll actually happen to the bike now?
Get crushed or...
Oh, they destroy them, do they? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. He's lost a few quid's worth there, though. And here's me paying tax, MOT and everything and going round on them for free. Cheers, lads. So there you go. It gets crushed and destroyed. So say goodbye to that bike forever. So for a quick short description of the bike owner, he was of Asian looking, well, he looked Asian to me. Riding it round town, don't know what they're doing it. Now you get different sorts of people riding these bikes again. Uber Eats, Just Eats and things like that riders. You get people that steal phones, that get balaclavaed upon them. You get all sorts of people and all sorts of demographics riding these bikes, not just one. So what you've got to remember is, I mean, they've just lost a few hundred quid's worth of bike there. Unbelievable, isn't it? And as we walk back into the town centre, the police car's just been left there. It's actually gone back up to the police station to walk the bike back up there, and is now obviously going to come back down and get his car. You'd have thought so. They'll come back down this way, or maybe that way, I don't know. But looking round, as I said before, I don't mind recording police activity. I was just saying to Barry a few minutes ago, they've had a massive crackdown on these scooters and stuff like that. You see them racing through town on them, doing 25 mile an hour and above in a pedestrianised area. You know, it can't be a good thing. Or is it? I don't know. What's your opinion? Leave a comment. So here comes the cop to collect his car and take his car back to the police station as well. Don't know what this guy finds interesting, but he does. Same as me, I suppose, finding things interesting. And off he goes. Melton in Bloom volunteer there, making the town look nice. And off he goes. Another electric scooter off the street. So just stood having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were just talking literally about how now the government are actually, or the Home Office should I say, are issuing leaflets to illegal migrants coming across the channel and everything else. And these leaflets, what it actually says is how not to rape women and children. Here is a quick screenshot or a quick screen recording of what it actually says, because if you notice, you can't screenshot these things actually online. So I recorded it off my computer. Take a look at this. So we've got a traffic warden just about to approach some cars down the bottom here. Whether they get a ticket or not for not having a badge, we'll soon find out. There's the red car, I know that's got a badge. I can hear more police sirens. It seems to have gone a bit... which way is it coming? If I hear it, I'll start the video. So I don't know whether it's going to rain again or not, but it just seems that we've got people walking around that are basically completely out of, well, they look out of place, people with hoods up. Looking completely out of place, looking very dodgy, that stick out like a sore thumb. But there you go. Again, centre of town, Melton Mowbray, 20th of August, 2026. We'll continue to do what we do. So as we come towards the end of another video here in town, it's been a little bit more lively than I thought it'd be. It started out with me talking about gender affirming in certain companies, discriminating against people that have a different view or a different opinion, right into what looked to me to be a migrant having his bike taken off him may have been working illegally. This is speculation, so I can't prove 100% that it is true. And these are some of the things that you have to remember. It's getting a bit windy and a bit dark and dull, but with this is a welcome change, I'm telling you now. We needed the rain. We needed the rain desperately, even if it was only a little bit, but we're going to have some torrential downpours. You can see it is quite cloudy. And I'm going to be doing some more videos in the very near future, because what will be interesting, it's going to start pissing it down again, isn't it? Yeah, let's get under here. 1 second. Let's get under here. I don't know what's up the back here, something to do with Edward Arger's office, I believe. But yeah, it's going to piss it down again by the looks of things. My wife's just popped to the bank. I don't know what that is. Some sort of story. Let me know if you can hear me properly in this video. Now, after using this camera for a good few months now, let me just wipe it. I'm actually pleased with it. I'm actually quite surprised with it, if I'm honest. It's pretty cool. So as we come to the end of another video, as I said before, just walking up the back here to see what's going on. There's a couple of bins and stuff like that. I don't know what this is all about. Yeah, it's going to piss it down. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, like, subscribe, go and hit the notification bell. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now. After weeks of not having any rain, all of a sudden the heavens open and we get an absolute shitload of it. And it is very welcome. This will be used for a shot. Oh, bonus police car. Wonder where he's off to. There you go. I didn't expect that. It's been quite a lively day today. Haha. He needs to tongue punch that fart box.